Any rooms available tonight?
But may I ask if you have made the reservation here?
No.
And so unfortunately, today we are fully booked. This is
Fully booked, no rooms. Not the chairman's suite, not the presidential suite,
so all the food
all sold out.
so what?
All right, that's so sad. All right, maybe next time. Okay, bye-bye. I'm in Hanoi on business, and of course, every time I come to Hanoi, I stay at the Marriott Hanoi because it's a fabulous hotel. But you know what? This time, President Putin of Russia kicked me out of my hotel room again, just like Xi Jinping did, just like President Biden did. So while I'm here, let's take this opportunity and talk about President Putin's visit to Vietnam. Let's go.
Hello, Tom. I know about your success, about your YouTube channel. I am sure that you are going to be expanding and growing more and more. Saludos, Tomás.
To be accurate, I don't really know where President Putin is staying tonight here in Hanoi, but I do know that the Marriott Hanoi is fully booked, even the presidential suite where I normally stay, and that means probably, just probably, maybe President Putin is staying here at the Marriott tonight. And that means I cannot book my room. I got kicked out of the Hanoi hotel again. You know, this happened before when Xi Jinping visited Hanoi and I couldn't book the room here. And also happened when President Joe Biden of the United States, when he came to Hanoi, he stayed here and I couldn't book here. In fact, I was the next guest after Joe Biden and I made a video about it right here, all right? Okay, go see that video where I stayed in the presidential suite at the Marriott Hotel right after Joe Biden's visit. So we know that this time, Putin is visiting North Korea first and then coming to Vietnam. And the reason for that is because he doesn't have a lot of countries to visit nowadays because he's considered a criminal according to the International Criminal Court, okay? Because he's been accused of war crimes in Ukraine and he cannot visit most countries in the world today. He can go to North Korea, he can come to Vietnam because Vietnam is a neutral country when it comes to foreign policy, okay? And I think this is something that is really good for Vietnam because we don't pick enemies when we don't pick friends. As a matter of fact, the United States issued statements about Putin's visit to Vietnam. They did not like that. They did not want Putin to come to Vietnam, and they accused Vietnam for providing sanctuary, a place to visit for a war criminal. Well, but I have to say I like the Vietnam foreign policy because I don't like to pick friends. I don't like to pick enemies. US is our largest trading partner and we love the US. We love China because they're also a very big trading partner and they are fighting and we are benefiting. So that's great. And Russia is historically, traditionally a strong ally of Vietnam. We also benefit a lot from Russian energy. And that's something that we want to continue to leverage to help Vietnam to build a strong country. So Vietnam as a country should not alienate any other country and we should stay strategically neutral. We don't take sides. And of course, we're going to benefit from US trade. We're going to benefit from China trade. And of course, we're going to benefit from our relationship with Russia. Speaking of benefits, what possible benefits would Putin's visit provide to Vietnam? Let me tell you, there are several. There's 3 areas, right? The first one is arms. The second one is energy. And the last one, of course, is always about money. Everything's about money, okay? First one is arms. Well, we buy a lot of weapons, from Russia, and we need to do that to protect our country against aggression, maybe from our neighbors, right? So that's important. We want to continue to have that relationship with Russia and have access to their weapon technology, all right? And number 2, energy. Well, Russia has a lot of energy and Vietnam needs a lot of energy to develop its economy, so that relationship is very important. And furthermore, we are developing our gas fields in the South China Sea, okay? And these are contested waters, many countries are fighting for ownership of the sea, and partnership with Russia will allow us to have better access to the energy resources in the South China Sea, all right, okay? And number 3, money. Russia has been under sanction by the United States. They have been kicked out of the SWIFT system, and I actually made a video about that right here, all right? Look at that video so that you understand what the SWIFT system is and what it can do for countries and people around the world. Because Russia was kicked out of the SWIFT system, so businesses and people in Russia have very difficult time doing international trade because they really cannot transact in United States dollar, which is really the international monetary currency for trading. So Putin's gonna come here and say, hey, let's not use US dollar, let's use Russian ruble and Vietnamese dong. So when you buy my products, use Russian ruble. When I buy your products, we'll use Vietnamese dong so that we don't depend on the US dollar. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Comment below. So for me, I think that's a good thing because we don't want one currency to control world trade, and more decentralization in that area I think is a better thing for the world, all right? So in summary, I like the way Vietnam handles this. We don't pick our friends, we don't pick our enemies. We are friendly to the world. We'll do business with the world, and that should be the Vietnamese position. And that is the best position to build a strong Vietnam. And that's what I truly believe. And I welcome Putin to Vietnam, all right? My adopted home country now. All right, take some fucking action. Maybe look into Putin's visit and don't be a fucktard.